Okay, hello everyone. This is SIG Scalability meeting, August 1st, 2024. Looking at the agenda, we don't have much for today. Anyone who wants to start? Matt, I think you had something, but you already mentioned that it's answered. So,
Yes, yeah, I just had some questions about that vendoring PR, but you answered them and we merged it, so nothing to talk about there. And then
yes.
I hope we're not wasting your time. My coworker Olivia had some question about we're trying to set up sort of an internal perf dash, but I'm not going to be able to remember her question correctly. So and she's not here quite yet. So hopefully we're not wasting your time. Sorry, but I'll try and
No
address her.
worries. I got.
We could always
By the
ask
way,
them.
thanks for picking this up and having it done. I just
Yeah,
opened it like at some point and didn't have time to get back to it. And
you betcha.
anyone else would like to bring up some topic?
Yeah, I had a quick question about the cluster loader as well.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm trying to test cluster loader 2 with AKS, and for like the load test, I'm getting a status failed. Does that, but I'm still getting some results with like the per percentages. So I guess what does it mean for the test to fail versus succeed in this case? Does a failure mean it didn't perform well, or does it mean like it didn't work at all?
So I would need to see the exact failures, but in general, um, I expect majority of cases to be actually not meeting the performance targets. So like not meeting the SLOs or violating SLOs or some other thresholds here and there. Not that it just blew up or something.
Yeah, so a failure doesn't like mean it's necessarily a user error. It might just be that like your cloud isn't as performant or your cluster.
Yep.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, I see. All right, thank you.
So I have another topic want to quickly discuss with you guys.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, David.
So this is like coming circle back into the one of the issue I mentioned earlier, in the like earlier SIG call, probably a few months ago about the job controller bottleneck. So I kind of spent more time looking into what's really happening. So I realized that seems the event handler logics in the job controller seem to be much more complicated than other controllers, and then the cause is uh, so in the informal logics, there's a kind of a thread that pumping the events to the work queue, right? So that I think in the previous experiment, I found that the pending notification can be grow unbounded. Only happens on the job controllers, but not for other controllers. Like in this case, the TTL after completion controllers process the same amount of job objects as the job controllers, but it doesn't have problem. And so I add some instrumenting code for to kind of understand the latencies of the event handler. And I found that the job controller is much more slower. Like I put some data in the issues I just sent in the chat. So so I think in my opinion, I think the event handler should be like very thin and doesn't have much complicated logic. So some of the processing I think it should be moved into the reconciler. That's how I kind of think about this informer, how it works in the informer. So I don't know if like Walter, you have some. Do you agree with this?
Yeah, so I'm not super familiar with this code. Like I touched that in the past, but it evolved significantly since then. So in general, like from the high level point of view, like I definitely agree that we shouldn't be doing things in handlers themselves, but I'm just looking into the code and I'm not sure like I fully understand the issue because it
So if you look at
effectively
the
is
code,
queuing that, right?
if you look at the code, there's some piece called process clean up pod finalizer. So basically that do a listing from the from the cache, and then it kind of queued every pod that's matching that uh the selector. So I think that's probably the most time consuming part.
I see. So okay, I see what you are saying. Yes, so that doesn't seem like something that should be in the handler itself.
So I think ideally that should be in the reconciler instead of the event handler. I think because the event handler, there's only one single Go routine that's kind of doing that processing. So any complicated logic, time-consuming logic can make it become the bottleneck.
Yep.
And on the other hand, I think the work queue, there are some parameters we can control how many workers concurrently join that queue and process it. I think that should be the right place to put a complicated logic.
Agree. Yes.
Okay, so that okay, I think then I can gonna reach out to the job controller maintainers and to get their opinion, and then proceed further to see what we can do.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you. Okay, any other topics? Going once, twice. Okay, so thanks a lot, everyone, and see you in 2 weeks, I guess. Thank you.